Imagine waking up Monday morning, checking your phone, and there it is, an email. We regret to inform you. And just like that, your salary, your health insurance, your 401k match, gone. You have 2 weeks. 2 weeks of pay, and then nothing. Here's the number that should terrify every American right now. 66% of people in this country cannot cover a single $400 emergency without going into debt or selling something. Not $4,000, $400. That's a car repair. That's one ER visit. That's one bad week. So what happens when it's not a $400 emergency, but your entire income? What happens to your mortgage, your car payment, your credit score, your health insurance? Today we're going to go through exactly what job loss in America looks like in 2026, and more importantly, how to survive it. I'm Cody, and this is the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Day 1 feels fine. You have 2 weeks severance, maybe more. Your bank account looks okay. You tell yourself, I've got time, I'll find something. But here's what's actually happening under the surface. The cascade has already started. Your employer-sponsored health insurance? It ends the day you leave, or at most at the end of the month. COBRA lets you keep your coverage, but now you pay the full premium. The average COBRA cost in America right now is $624 a month for a single person. Nearly $1,800 a month for a family. Insurance that used to cost you $150 a paycheck now costs you over $600 a month just to keep what you already had. Week 2, you file for unemployment. In most states, it takes 3 to 5 weeks just to receive your first payment. And when it finally arrives, unemployment benefits in America replace only about 45% of your previous wages. So if you were making $60,000 a year, you're now trying to survive on $27,000. That's $2,250 a month before taxes. By week 3, most people start doing something dangerous. They stop paying credit cards. They tell themselves, just this month, just until things stabilize. But what they don't realize is, by day 30, the late fees hit. By day 60, the interest compounds. By day 90, your credit score has dropped 80 to 100 points. And a lower credit score means higher interest rates on every loan, every card, every car payment going forward. The cascade doesn't stop there, but this is just the financial side. Here's what financial articles never tell you. The money pressure is only half the problem. The other half is what job loss does to your brain. Multiple studies have shown that losing a job triggers the same psychological stages as grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. And most people get stuck somewhere in the first 3 stages. While they're stuck, their savings are draining. There's also something called identity loss. In America especially, what you do defines who you are. Ask any American to introduce themselves. The first thing out of their mouth is their job title. I'm an engineer. I'm a manager. I'm a sales rep. When that title disappears, people don't just lose income. They lose their sense of who they are. They start isolating. They stop networking. They stop applying. And the job gap grows. The average job search in America right now takes 5 months. 5 months. That's 150 days of watching your savings bleed out while your confidence drops lower every week. And then, this is the trap that destroys people financially. 30% of people who get laid off touch their 401k within the first 60 days. They withdraw early. And here's what that actually costs you. A 10% early withdrawal penalty, plus federal income tax on every dollar you take. A $30,000 withdrawal could cost you $10,000 in penalties and taxes alone. And you've just wiped out decades of compound growth for money that'll be gone in 3 months. Here's the real talk. Most people don't think about any of this until they're already in the situation. But the smartest financial move you can make right now, while you still have a job, is to prepare like job loss is coming. Because in today's economy, for most Americans, it's not if, it's when. Step 1. Build your 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Not in your checking account where you'll spend it, in a high-yield savings account, completely separate. 3 months of expenses minimum. 6 is better. Most Americans have 0. You want to be different. Step 2. Know your survival number. Sit down today and write out exactly how much you need every single month. Rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, car payment, insurance, phone, internet. That number, your survival number, is what you're protecting, not your lifestyle, your survival. Step 3. Get liquid. If you have investments outside retirement accounts, make sure some of it is accessible without penalty. The stock market is not your emergency fund. If it drops 30% the same month you lose your job and you need to sell, you've locked in the loss permanently. Step 4. Build your network now, not when you desperately need it. Research shows that 70 to 80% of jobs are never publicly posted. They're filled through connections and referrals. Your next job is probably already in your network. You just haven't had the conversation yet.
Okay, let's say it already happened. You just got the call, or the email, or the meeting with HR that started with "close the door." What do you do in the first 24 hours? First, don't make any big financial moves. Not today. Your brain is flooded with cortisol right now. The worst financial decisions people make happen in the first week after a layoff. They pull from retirement accounts. They apply for every credit card they can find. They make impulsive purchases to feel in control. Don't. Second, understand your severance completely. Read every word. In most cases, you have 21 days to sign. Don't sign severance papers the day they hand them to you. Negotiate. Ask for more weeks. Ask for outplacement services. Ask if they'll cover COBRA for 90 days. Companies expect negotiation. Most people are too rattled to try. Third, file for unemployment the same week. Not next week, this week. The clock starts from when you file. Every week you delay is a week you don't get paid. Go to your state's unemployment website and file immediately. Fourth, cut expenses now, not eventually. Cancel every subscription you don't need. Eating out drops to near 0. You're in survival mode, not frugality mode, survival mode. Frugality is a choice. Survival mode is making sure the money lasts until you're back on your feet. Fifth, update your LinkedIn that same week. Recruiters search LinkedIn every single day. Add "open to work." Update your headline. Start engaging with content in your industry. Because 73% of hiring managers check LinkedIn before they even look at a resume. Here's what almost nobody talks about. For many people, job loss is the best thing that ever happened to their financial life. Not because it's easy, it's brutal, but because it forces a clarity that comfort never will. When you have a stable paycheck, you tolerate things you shouldn't. A job that pays okay but has no growth. A career path that isn't really yours. Spending habits that quietly drain your wealth every single month. You tolerate it all
because the paycheck keeps coming. Job loss strips that away, and suddenly you're forced to ask the question you've been avoiding. What actually matters? Some people come out of job loss and land a better job at higher pay. Some start businesses they've been putting off for years. Some discover that their monthly expenses were 40% higher than they actually needed, and they fix it permanently. The constraint creates the clarity. The people who spiral are the ones who see job loss as an identity failure. The people who recover, and often come out ahead, are the ones who treat it as a forced financial audit, a reset, a chance to rebuild smarter. Your job is not your value. Your bank account balance is not your worth. And your next chapter hasn't been written yet. If you're living paycheck to paycheck right now, let this be your wake-up call before the emergency hits. Build the fund. Know your numbers. Build your network. Because if the worst does happen, you won't be in panic mode. You'll be ready. I'm Cody, and this is your sign to get ahead of it before it gets ahead of you.